Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Bulls on Tap. I'm your boy Buzz. I'm joined by my dude Goose, aka Bulls Scripted, and we are here to recap the Chicago Bulls' 106-96 victory over the Cleveland Cavaliers. Before we do that, be sure to go to ontapsportsnet.com for all your Chicago sports literature and podcasting needs. Following us on Twitter at Bulls on Tap, at OnTapSportsNet. Following Goose at Bulls Scripted, me at Buzz on Tap. Anywhere you can listen to podcasts, you can listen to us, 5-star rating and review, because that's cool and tough. Goose. Last night I was ready to burn the world down. Tonight, I still feel like I am ready to burn the world down. Bulls win this one. Obviously I know they're not going to lose every game from here on out. They break the 5-game losing streak here by defeating the Cavaliers. There were some good things that were shown against a team with lesser capabilities than it seems that we have. First of all, how are you? And let's get into the initial thoughts, your initial thoughts of the game.
Hey, same thing, different day for me. Just going to be getting back into the swing of work here shortly. But, no, I mean, we're back in 10th now. we finally come to the conclusion that fuck it. Just no Zach. We're playing shitty teams. Let's sneak some losses in against them and move up the tank standings. And, of course, in typical Chicago Bulls fashion, they do the opposite of what we want in the moment, and that's all right because we touched on it last night. If they go on a win streak, we're here for that too. So ultimately, you can't bank on luck. The Bulls have put themselves in the position to get lucky, whether that's by missing the play-in or making the play-in. We're gonna have a shot in the lottery. So I don't know. I mean, it was a pretty solid game. Didn't have a disastrous third quarter where we only score 15 points. Lauri Markkanen actually showed up off the bench tonight. And Coby White looked like a point guard more than a shooting guard. There was some interesting, I guess, things that came out of this game on top of a win against a Cavs team that was healthier this time around than they were the last time when they beat us. So I guess you call that improvement. They forced us into trading for Vooch, and now we beat them with just Vooch. So full circle.
Yeah, I mean, tonight I guess you could touch on Pat Williams' game. Super efficient, 5 for 6 from the field, 1 for 1 from downtown, 1 for 1 from the free throw line. He goes 12, 3 assists, 4 boards, 1 block, 1 steal. Vooch looked like the guy we traded for tonight. Efficient, 10 for 17, 3 for 5 from downtown, 2 for 2 from the free throw line, 25, 5 assists, 7 rebounds, 2 steals. Coby White, not an efficient shooting night, but for the people that love plus minus, he's a +8. He scores 8 points, 9 assists, 3 rebounds, 1 steal. However, he did have 4 turnovers. The story of the game in my mind is Lauri Markkanen, who hit a big shot down the stretch there to put the Bulls up big. He finishes 16 and 6 tonight, 6 for 12 from the field, and 6 of his shots were from downtown. Obviously, we kind of said last night coming into a game against Cleveland, we thought that maybe it would be a win, though I really didn't want it. And I know people get upset at that. Like, oh, you're not a real fan or whatever because you didn't want them to win. It's just like, I'm just trying to look at what's realistic. They come out and they beat a team that they should beat. And all in all, that's something that you should be happy about if you're a Chicago Bulls fan, because they did come out and beat a team they should beat. I felt that they could have drove this game a little bit more into the ground and really put their throat on Cleveland's neck. If this was a better team, obviously, we'd be having a different conversation right now, because there was a lot of opportunities where the Bulls were blowing it with an untimely turnover or missed shot, a wide open shot, that didn't go in, but Cleveland was unable to capitalize because they are ass. So that's just kind of, where we're at right now. I mean, of course, I'm happy they won, and I'm happy that Coby White looked good as a point guard, as you pointed out. I'm happy that Lauri Markkanen played a good game, because all in all, at the end of the day, which was pointed out in last night's episode, we need these guys to drive up their value if they're not going to be here somehow, some way. And if they can do it against lesser teams and look good doing it, then I'll take it.
Yeah, no, tonight's a trap game. You're going to be pissed if you lose because they're a shitty team, and even if you wanted the loss, it's going to sting because you're not supposed to lose to that team even without Zach LaVine. But a loss in the grand scheme of things might have been better than a win, but also can't complain about a win. That was the whole entire purpose of the season. It was the purpose of trading for Vooch, to see this team start to gain some chemistry without Zach there. So when he comes back, maybe they do make that play-in push, because it's not like the Crafters or the Pacers really want to be there either. We're really going to be having a battle of the play.
Did you say Crafters?
Yes, the Crafters.
Okay, I just wanted to.
No.
Okay, I just want
the Crafters.
Yeah, I just want to clarify. That's all.
Right, for sure. You're not that drunk, Buzz. It was there.
All right. You know it's Saturday, so you know what that means.
Yes, you started early and you're going late. The Crafters don't want to be in the play-in either. They'd prefer better odds in the lottery. I really don't think that, at 2 years removed from a championship, that they are going to be that gun-ho to push for the playoffs right now. They know what's realistic, and they know that they're not a contender. So they're in a mini rebuild with Siakam and Fred. I'm sure they'd love to add a top 4 pick to that, so they'd take increased percentages over a fake playoff game. So we're going to be in the mix with the Raptors or the Crafters, whatever you want to call them, for the remainder of this season. We might go back and forth 10 times, and the Wizards might decide they want to play basketball at some point. So we'll see. But, you can't get mad about beating the teams you're supposed to beat, and I don't want people to think that's what we're going to do. We're not going to – we're happy to hop in the tank and call it a tank when the losses are happening, whether it's planned or not, because it makes us feel better. We feel safe in the tank, but realistically, you're supposed to win the games that we won. Win a game like we won tonight. So
right, and there's some things that happened in this game too that I really liked. Lauri Markkanen first, it was the second quarter actually. He got an awesome mismatch there in the paint that he took full advantage of. I believe it was against Deladova. He took a advantage of a mismatch in the paint, backed him down, little hook shot, and that's things that I like to see, and that was something I was bitching about last night, to be completely honest with everybody here. I was bitching about him not doing that kind of stuff.
I can't even applaud him for that. I mean,
I have to, because he doesn't do it, so I have to give him dap when it's due.
I accept he's a 7-footer without a post game. I wish he would have caught that body on that dunk, and Lowry's had a couple of those this year. They're like, dude, if you would have finished those, you might see that $20 million you want. But no, I can't get excited. I mean, more so he got an entry pass in the post. His teammates recognized he had a mismatch, because we can kill Lowry all we want for not having a post game. This team does not recognize mismatches. They don't get the ball down there quick enough when they're supposed to. And by the time they recognize it, there is this thing called 3 seconds in the key. You got to get the fuck out of there. So to see the recognition, I believe it was Vooch who caught Lowry twice in the post. One of them was a bullet. One of them was that mismatch. One was kind of a cut by Lowry on a drive on a bullet. And, so the big man connection is definitely there right now for this team. And then that's good to see, because we really don't have a point guard. We did have Tomas Satoransky back tonight. He kind of played a limited role. It'll be interesting to see if he goes back into the starting lineup while Zach is out. Maybe when Zach's back, Billy goes back to the lineup, but who fucking knows?
We had a super efficient Tomas Satoransky tonight.
Oh, okay. What did he do? Like
3 for 3, 1 for 1 from downtown.
Yes.
So he was super efficient.
I saw somebody tweet something like, there's going to be security for the 50-40-90 club, and they're going to check Saddle pretty hard as he's trying to get in the door. Like, dude, you didn't shoot enough. You're not allowed in here.
It's nice that we're talking about a W here. And you know what kind of gets me, to be honest with you, is I look up and down this starting lineup, and even the 6th man and the 7th man for Cleveland. And I actually, low-key, I really like the way the squad looks. And I wonder if they can put it together, what they'll eventually look like. I mean, you have 2 dynamic guards in Sexton and Garland. Okoro ain't no bitch. He's a very good player. He's a very good rookie. And I really like his game. Very good defensively. He
And then
takes
they got
smart.
Tom Selleck on a $28 million contract.
Yeah, but you also have Jared Allen, who's a young center who plays a good game. I mean, I think that one day they will be maybe if they keep that lineup and they mesh together, they can one day be a good lineup. Obviously, right now they just kind of seem out of sorts, and I feel like Sexton and Garland just have green lights to go nuts. I mean, they combined for 41 shots.
But not 41 points. Oh, no. They ended up with 44. Okay.
Yeah, they end up with 44 points on 41 shots combined, and then Darius Garland, my friend, 12. I mean, he had a double-double tonight, 22 and 12,
You don't have to tell me. I was drooling over Garland before the draft. Just all 8 games of that Vanderbilt stint. It was more so like the pre-workout and the other stuff that you were able to watch of him. But no, Garland was that guy.
He looks good. He doesn't he? He looks good. He looks like a really good NBA player.
What was it? I think it might have been on the Sean and Maya in the morning when I joined Sean Sierra a couple weeks ago, and we were talking, and he was like, Kobe White's got all the speed and that sneaky athleticism in the world, but it's all straight line. He doesn't give you any of that. And Garland's got all the and you don't know where he's going. He'll hit you with the about 5 times in a row and make you look silly. So Garland's got the handles and the shot and the feel and the potential playmaking. Cleveland's got a similar issue, though. Sexton and Garland both kind of suck on defense. And I don't know how long that pairing's going to work. You might have to move Okoro to like 2, get another bigger, more two-way oriented wing to hide Garland's flaws to ever really have success there. But no, I mean, Cleveland's got an interesting roster. I know I'd be excited about getting Jared Allen for a second throwing themselves into that Harden deal. And I don't know, grabbing that Harden deal fucked him, though, too, because they got Taurean Prince, and he's the one that pushed Kevin Porter Jr. to the end of the locker room, and then he threw food at somebody, and he ended up getting shipped out for free. Cleveland didn't get anything for KPJ, and he was another really interesting piece that they had. That would have been killer. Garland, Kevin Porter, Okoro, get yourself a nice 4, Jared Allen. You would have been cooking, but instead, you brought in a vet that pissed off the young guy, and he acted out a little bit, and you didn't forgive him. So I think that was a mistake on the Cavs' part, but they're not a schlump. They're
not. And what I thought tonight with the Bulls' performance, as well as I felt like their defensive game plan was actually pretty decent. They knew that Garland and Sexton can do what they want for the most part. And while they tried to contain them, they kept everybody else at bay. And I do feel like that was a game plan tonight for them. And I feel like it went really well, because it's not often that you're talking about a Chicago Bulls victory. Number one, it's not, and number two, it's not often that you're talking about the Chicago Bulls holding an opponent to under 100 points.
Yeah, no, that is pretty rare. Considering what was the stat that I think it was Kevin, our friend Kevin Bulldog Anderson over at NBCS shared.
Big fan of Kevin.
Rating. I think it was Kevin. It might have been Cody Westerland. Either way, one of those great fellas. Different affiliations, but Bulls are bottom 5 in defensive rating in the NBA. So to hold the team under 100 points, especially with 2 young guns like that can light it up any given night, can't feel too bad. We were shorthanded, and we came out and we handled our business. And it was nice to see the flow of, or like the semblance of an offense. After all these moves, it's easy to fall into getting your own. And tonight we did play as a team and got a fucking win. We can't really complain about that.
They shot efficient. They went 41 for 82.
The first half was not efficient.
Well, no, the first half wasn't, but they finished shooting 50%. And they finished 16 for 40 from downtown for 40%. Ooh. Only shot 9 free throws on the night. They hit 8 of them. Cleveland only shot 7. They hit 6 of them.
The Bulls had a damn near 50, 40, 90 game.
Yeah. Yeah, they had 88.9% there from the free throw line. They were out rebounded 44 to 38, but they did have 30 assists to Cleveland's 27. Turnovers, they only had 10 compared to Cleveland's 11. So they took care of the ball for the most part comparatively to what we've seen through the duration of the season.
we escaped the entire first quarter without a turnover, made it up to, I think, 10, maybe 11 assists before Adam and Stacy jinxed us and had to double down on how many assists do we have without turnovers? And then, sure enough, I complimented Kobe, and the next thing you know, the next two possessions were just complete shit. But hey, we made it a whole first quarter without any turnovers, and for the most part, the last two games, we've been pretty solid in that regard.
Yeah. So, I mean, like I said, you come out here, you pick up a win, an important win, I guess, because, I mean, they were sliding big time. I do want to talk about a guy that played a good game off the bench, and I do shit on him quite often, but he did play a pretty decent game, and that was Denzel Valentine. He had a couple big shots there. 5 for 10 from the field. He did, however, go 2 for 7 from downtown, but he was doing a bunch of little things. He was hustling, and he was doing some things that were all right. So I'll give credit where credit's due.
Tonight was one of the games where I watched Denzel, and I didn't have one of those moments where I was like, fuck, dude, you just threw every good thing you did out the window. I didn't have one of those moments. Maybe I wasn't paying close enough attention. Maybe it's there, and somebody can let us know. But personally, I did not find that gripe with Denzel tonight. And any night you can escape Denzel, fuck-ups, I'm all for it.
I'm with you on that for sure. Well, I mean, like I said, this game, they came out, they did what they needed to do. Lowry, great game. Vooch, great game. Garrett Temple actually played pretty well as well, and he played some good defense. So I'm happy with the way that they played.
We have gotten Bartholomew the last two games. First game back, Garrett. Last two games, Bartholomew has been in the house.
TBJ played some good defense. I want to give him a little bit of a shout out here as well.
I mean, we can talk TBJ for a whole podcast if you want to.
Oh, we definitely could. We might do a TBJ special. That we'll get to that eventually. I'm sure that'll end up happening. But yeah, the Bulls come out, beat a team that they're supposed to beat. I'm happy about it. I just like you said,
sound thrilled.
Well, I mean, dude, when you come out on a rant the night prior, and then they end up winning like they did, forgive me.
Turn around.
Yeah, it's just like now I'm like literally, like those little fucking turnaround things on the expressway, like it says "Do not make a U-turn here." Well, I'm sitting in that thing, like, what am I doing here? Because
authorized personnel only.
Right. Yeah. I'm just kind of like, oh man, I don't know. Does this? It feels good to win, but I also know what it means, and I understand what Cleveland is and what they have been, but I digress. After a 5-game losing streak, it's nice to pick up a win.
Well, and we have Cleveland again in the next two games. So we do get a chance to maybe beat up on, because we got Detroit coming up too. So,
we do. We have Boston, Cleveland, Charlotte. Detroit. No, Detroit's not till May 9th. We have Boston, Cleveland, Charlotte, and two back to back, or not back to back, but 2 games against Miami consecutively. That's our next 5 matchups. We do, however, play Boston on Monday in Boston at 6:30. That'll be our next game here. And, Boston has been a team that's been kind of a paradox all year. They're very puzzling. They're third in the Atlantic Division.
Killing it.
What was that?
It's Luke Cornett is killing it.
I know. I see him everywhere. I see Luke Cornett everywhere. Boston is sitting at 30-26, and they're on a 5-game winning streak right now.
Luke Cornett has fucking NBA, like the official NBA highlights floating around Twitter right now, like consecutive blocks. Like what the fuck is going on? I do think the nickname that Luke has got in Boston is awesome though. The Green Cornet, like that is epic. No,
I wish he was the Red Cornet.
No, it's okay. No,
I
don't miss Luke. Yeah, I
don't miss Luke either, but I mean, my God, dude, like it's just typical. It's typical, and I can have a whole podcast about that too.
I mean, Tice has still been better. And
no, Tice has been great. I got no problem with Daniel Tice.
Jerry got to count his cash while upgrading the roster, so everybody won. Ainge paid us for Cornette to give us Tice. So
right. Well, Boston is sitting at the 5th seed right now. And we're getting ready to play them again on Monday. So, Bulls come rolling out again without Zach LaVine. They should have everybody else available. from what I know right now, and we'll see what happens. If the Bulls beat Boston, then I might be a little bit more hyped up than I am right now. Again, I'm glad they won. I'm glad they got a win, but let's string some consecutive wins together before I start, flying off the handle and saying the Bulls are back.
So if we beat Boston, are we putting the keys to the tank away? We like throwing them back in the safe and locking it up for a little bit, or
they're still in my front pocket.
Okay,
they're still in my front pocket, Goose.
So we're ready to go. And a minute's notice.
Yeah, like I said, I'll be thinking about them, but I will have them in my pocket. I won't go crazy or anything like that. We just need to make sure we can string some wins together. If they want to get into this play-in, they want to be a 10th seed, 9th seed, whatever, they need to start playing some better basketball and consecutively, because one-offs are just that. They're one-offs.
Well, yeah, one-offs against the Cavs don't mean a damn thing.
Right. So other than that, I don't really have too much else. I'm glad that they won this game. We're going up against Boston. Like I said, if they could pull it out, they could pull it out. We'll see what happens Monday. Consecutive, getting consecutive wins would be great, but they need to play defense. They need to play a full 48 minutes against a team that has somewhat turned it around and made themselves a 5th seed within the Eastern Conference standings. It's going to be a true test.
Yeah, hopefully Patrick Williams rides his confidence from this game. Lauri Markkanen keeps at least a foot and a half in the door here in Chicago, and Kobe continues to play rather efficient basketball. Let's see what happens.
Absolutely.
The Boston isn't a great team, so I'm not going to say it's a winnable game, but we should be competitive. So let's see what the fuck happens.
Absolutely. Everybody be sure to go to OnTapSportsNet.com for all your Chicago sports literature and podcasting needs. Following us on Twitter at Bulls on Tap, at OnTapSportsNet. Following Goose at Bull Scripted, me at Buzz on Tap. Anywhere you can listen to podcasts, you can listen to us. 5-star rating and review, because that's cool and tough. We'll be back Monday night after the Bulls. Hopefully win a game against the Boston Celtics and have 2 in a row there. Maybe we can turn this thing around. Let's go Bulls.